That's right, Disney Plus originals are finally headed to physical media as Disney announces the first wave of Disney Plus series headed to Blu-ray and 4K. All the details right here. Just when things were starting to look pretty bad for Disney physical media, this news comes out. It's news that I certainly wasn't expecting, and I know pretty much everybody out there probably wasn't expecting either. You know, over the last few years, Disney have been saying that their Disney Plus original series, they had no plans to put them on physical media, to release them to the public, to buy and to own. Some of these titles, you know, they dropped on the streaming service 2 or 3 years ago, and they've been locked behind this Disney Plus paywall, this kind of digital service where you could only access this content legally if you had Disney Plus. However, Disney has kind of, I guess, had a little bit of a change of mind. Recently, there have been big calls for Disney to release this stuff on physical media, and finally, it appears that the Mouse House is bowing down to the consumer. Maybe it's because Disney Plus has been losing a lot of subscribers and losing a lot of money, allegedly, that perhaps this is their way of maybe recuperating a little bit of the costs of these series, which have huge budgets. Some of these, you know, $100 million+ budgets for these entire series. And I think maybe Disney has finally realized, well, maybe we can get a little bit of money for these releases. There has actually been a pretty big spike in bootlegs hitting the market. I don't usually like to talk about bootlegs or bring sort of attention to bootlegs or anything like that, but there's been a very big market of bootleg discs specifically aimed around Disney Plus exclusive movies and series and stuff, and I know a lot of people have been buying them up, and maybe this is the thing that has kind of pushed Disney to go, you know what, there's people out there en masse buying up all of these shows on physical media. Let's actually put them out and get that money for themselves. There's very little Disney could do to combat that kind of bootlegging market, and this is the best way for them to kind of swoop in. This news also comes only 1 month after Disney has pulled out of physical media releases in Australia. The very last title that Disney Australia released physically was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They have now dipped out completely. So I know my fellow Australians out there are going to be pretty disappointed that these titles will not be available locally. Disney will not just dip back in just to release a couple more titles there, here and there. No, Disney have completely dropped out on the Australian market. So yeah, only a month ago, the news on Disney leaving physical media in Australia dropped, and there were kind of all sorts of rumors swirling that this was kind of signaling a major global pullout of physical media from Disney, but things are looking pretty up. I mean, recently we've had this amazing 4K restoration of Cinderella hit physical media in the US. Only last week, they announced the release of Prey on Blu-ray. This is, of course, the Predator spin-off prequel movie that went directly to Hulu in the US and direct to Disney Plus in international territory, Disney Plus Star. That is getting an official physical release. I think a lot of people, such as myself, saw that as a little ray of light that, hang on a second, Disney might actually start releasing some of their bigger exclusive original titles, whether that be movies or series. And the news has finally dropped that we are getting a handful of Marvel and Star Wars series on physical media. Disney has announced that between September 26th and December 12th this year, 2023, they will be releasing a handful of Disney Plus original series to 4K and Blu-ray. These include Marvel Studios' Loki, the complete first season, which will hit the market on September 26, 2023. Marvel Studios' WandaVision, the complete series, which will market on November 28, 2023. Star Wars The Mandalorian, the complete first season, which will market on December 12, 2023. And Star Wars The Mandalorian complete second season, which will also market on December 12, 2023. All 4 titles will be available to pre-order from August 28th. Now, these releases have been announced to be hitting both 4K and Blu-ray. These will include Dolby Atmos soundtracks and a whole bunch of bonus features and all of that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, bonus features haven't been announced for all of these titles just yet, but we do have a list of bonuses that will be available on the Loki Season 1 Blu-ray. You might be thinking, why is Loki Season 1 hitting Blu-ray 4K before any of the other kind of Marvel series that came out before it, like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Well, essentially, this release will be landing to celebrate the second season release of Loki on Disney+. The disc will include a whole bunch of featurettes, including designing the TVA, step into the incredible set of Loki Season 1 with production designer Kazra Farhani and Tom Hiddleston, while getting a sneak peek into Season 2. The official TVA orientation video. Miss Minutes explains the inner workings of the TVA timeline in her orientation video. A gag reel, a handful of deleted scenes, and incredibly, the Marvel assembled making of Loki episode, which is a full-length, hour-long making-of documentary. This actually marks the first time one of the Marvel assembled documentaries has been put on physical media, as they are always left off of the movie releases. So it would be interesting to see if we get the movie ones on physical media at some point. Now, it is worth noting that only Loki has been detailed so far, because that release at the time of this announcement comes out in just over a month's time. But Disney has also mentioned in this press release that the other titles, they will get a detailing further down the line, closer to release, or maybe even when they go up for pre-order. Now, it's interesting that all 4 of these releases have only been announced so far as steelbook releases. These are 2-disc sets. If you get the Blu-ray set, you will just get Blu-ray discs. If you get the 4K set, you will only get 4K discs. The episodes seem to be split kind of equally across the 2 discs. There'll be the bonus features and stuff across those as well. So far, I have reached out to Disney for confirmation on this, but I haven't heard back from them just yet. So far, there's been no announcement on whether there will be kind of standard editions for these, you know, Amaray cases with slip covers, but so far they have only announced these as collector's edition steelbooks. They come with a couple of photo art cards as well. The designs on all of them are really complementary. They match each other really well. The box art has been designed by artist Attila Skarka. Their artwork is absolutely terrific and really matches beautifully. The one thing I will say is that Disney has never really been known for consistency on physical media. When they release, you know, a wave of titles, and then they go and they release kind of another wave of titles, the covers don't always match. They go with a completely different art style or a completely different artist. I just really hope that if they do more of these, I just hope that they all match up and we have like a really nice set that really looks like it fits together. Disney has always been very rocky with physical media, and you know, it could always also be the case that sometimes they'll release a couple of seasons of something or release the first movie of something and then they'll never go back and release the rest of the series. That is something that has happened a lot of times with Disney, and I think a lot of the times that probably comes down to maybe people not supporting those first releases that have come out. The big thing we need to take away from this, I think, is that Disney is finally putting their hand out to us and giving us an option to support these releases and to prove to them that this is a credible market for them. It's a lucrative market for them. It's something that will actually make them money. You may be one who doesn't particularly like these series, and you maybe are more of a Falcon and the Winter Soldier fan than you are of WandaVision and Loki, or, you know, you may have really loved Moon Knight, or maybe you're a bigger Andor fan than you were of Mandalorian, or maybe you just really love stuff like Only Murders in the Building, or any of the other great Disney Plus series, Big Shot, or, you know, anything like that. I think though, if you're someone who's really passionate about these other series hitting the physical media format, it is still very important to support these titles that we are being given right here. There's no use waiting for the other stuff, because I guarantee you right now, Disney have plans to release the other series, and potentially, you know, we've got a release of Prey announced. Potentially, there are plans to release Disney Plus exclusive movies like maybe Lady and the Tramp or Pinocchio or Peter Pan and Wendy, etc., etc. I guarantee you right now, This opens the floodgates. Disney, right now, I can guarantee you, have plans for other releases, whether that be series or movies. But those other releases will only eventuate if we go out en masse and support these 4 releases right here. If you are passionate about getting these streaming exclusive titles in your hands physically to own forever, get them out from behind that digital Disney Plus paywall. If you are passionate about this, you need to support these releases to prove to Disney that there is a market, to prove to Disney that these releases are going to be lucrative. They're going to make money from them. And if these 4 titles don't sell very well, Disney is not going to release anymore. That is their business decision. They will not release anymore if these do not make money. What is the point of putting the time and effort into making more releases if the previous releases haven't sold? So we need to get out there. We have all had our voice. Disney has heard our voice, calling for these, demanding these, like pleading for these. Disney is finally giving these to us. I'm really excited to finally complete my Marvel Cinematic Universe collection and my Star Wars collection on physical media. And, you know, the best way we can do that is to support these releases right here and then hope for the best and really, really hope that we get more. And I guarantee you right now, if these sell well, we will be getting more down the line. So go out, support these releases, and grab them when you can. I'm so excited. At that, everyone, look, this is the second of these kind of news videos I've done recently to camera. I find them a little bit easier to kind of do and edit together, just kind of sit here and talk, especially if the topic is a little bit more in-depth, then you know, write up a whole script and record the voice and then edit all the stuff over the top. Sometimes this kind of thing is easier. If you like it, if you like these videos, let me know down in the comments and I'll do a lot more of these kind of newsy videos like this going forward. If you prefer the kind of just narration and video only, you don't want to have to look at my ugly mug, let me know that as well down in the comments. But at that, I want to know your thoughts on these Disney Plus originals finally headed to physical media. Are you going to be grabbing them all? Are you just going to be grabbing a couple of them? I want to know which ones you're going to be picking up. As always, join the conversation down in the comments below.